the wacky world of MultimediaJay.
Ladies and gentlemen, behold, another Dellasaurus. Well, if you want to call it that anyways, certainly does have a few years on it. This is a Dell Optiplex 760 from the Core 2 Duo era, and of course, Windows Vista. Yeah, we're going way back. So this is from the Core 2 Duo era, but this isn't actually a Core 2 Duo machine, it's an Intel Pentium. So nowadays, the Pentium brand name is basically being milked for all it's worth by Intel. Basically, it means budget chip, but not the worst budget chip. So Intel Pentium nowadays is synonymous with not as crappy as a Celeron. And over on the AMD side, Athlon, I think, is the same way, where an Athlon isn't as crappy as a Sempron. And Sempron is a former name for AMD's low-end chips and things like that. Makes you wonder when they're going to bring back the Duron name or something like that. So yeah, I moved the silver bullet out of the way for now, just one of the nice little side effects of it being such a mobile machine. So how on earth did I get this machine, and what am I doing with it? Well, let's just say a few things went down at work today. So, previously, when we had to move computers from building to building, my manager just tossed the computers in his truck or something like that. Well, he got sick of being Mr. UPS, so it went something like this. We needed this computer to go to our satellite building, and he was like, "Ah, well, just take the computer home. Who cares? It's an old dinosaur. Whatever." Or something like that. I insisted, though, on signing the proper paperwork with the security and loss prevention folks so they wouldn't throw a fit if they saw me walking out with this computer at the end of the day today. Not like this computer's worth very much anyways. These things, actually, you can still buy them as refurbs for under $200. Like, the Core 2 Duo versions of these are going for like $200 on most, sites of, companies and e-tailers that sell refurbs. Hey, I wonder if you can see my shadow in the viewfinder. Howdy, folks. A little bit anyways. But the interesting part is I've been keeping an eye on the whole refurb market because a lot of corporate workstations like this are actually finding their way into the refurb market, and it's kind of like the unsung heroes of personal computers these days. If you've got somebody who needs just a cheap computer that does internet, email, and not much else, I think a refurbished corporate workstation could actually be better than a low-end, like, $300 e-machine or something. If you've got somebody who doesn't want to, feel like they have to pay at least $300 for a low-end system, this thing is sub $200. The only other computer I'm seeing regularly in the sub $200 range is that Asus X205 TA itty-bitty laptop that the e-tailers take turns putting on sale week after week. But this is actually a full-blown desktop. Now, the thing about corporate workstations is that they're very easy to service. I imagine they probably can't cost too much to get fixed unless the computer tech that you hire for the job wants to rip you off, because there's a little slider thing on the back. A little slider thing on the back makes this pop off, and boom, there's the components. And corporate workstations, these little block things, are designed to be easy to fix, so you can just flip them and send them back. Plus, corporate IT has this thing for being huge on warranties. So, it's still in warranty? Yeah, just send the thing out and stuff like that. Plus, I mean, if you're shipping a bunch of these around, you can palletize these pretty easily compared to towers and stuff. So, this is the form factor I see the most in office environments. It's actually relatively easy to service. The only gotcha for these would have to be the power supplies being proprietary and stuff like that. But anyways, since I have this for a night, it's on its way to our satellite building to serve as a digital signage machine tomorrow, I figure let's run some benchmarks on this thing and just see what it can do. This Optiplex 760 basically represents the lowest of the low right now in the refurb market, unless you dig up an old Lenovo Pentium 4 or something like that. But there's some older computers out there, but this is actually the oldest type of computer that we still have in service where I work. We range from, we have 760s and 780s, and then newer Optiplexes that go all the way up to the Intel Core i5 Haswell. So we do have Haswell systems in-house. I actually use a Sandy Bridge because, I do just fine with a Sandy Bridge. But let's see what this thing can do. Now, I need this computer to work in the morning, so I'm not going to do anything crazy with it, and I'm not going to even touch the hardware. So, what we have is what we have, And I do have the kilowatt hooked up, and it's got a little under a watt of standby power. So it's about on par with most of my other systems, except for the 2005 system, which for some inexplicable reason sucks 10 watts when it's turned off. I'm going to have to check the motherboard settings when I put it back together later on. So let's just run a bunch of tests and see how much this chokes under the Unigine Valley benchmark, because the most corporate workstations have bare bones graphics systems because, well, they're designed for crunching spreadsheets and stuff like that. So, yay, Optiplex 760 series, and we're up to the 60 watt mark. Intel Boot Agent for network boot, and Windows 7 Enterprise is going to be the OS here, so I figure I have this for a night. Let's have a little fun with it, see what cool we have here. So this is cool. So booting, we're up to like 44 watts, so a little bit more than my portables. And the next part of the Windows logon, of course, is going to contain some proprietary corporate information, so we're going to skip that part. But yeah, boots right up, and not too much for power, and oh, we're already getting to Windows here, so we're going to skip this part. Yeah, Windows 7 Enterprise. Alright, let's log this sucker on. So I turned off the corporate Windows theme and stuff like that, so we have a generic Windows 7 desktop. Nothing much, just Google Chrome. I have UserBenchmark, that program that comes up with like the ship names for the computers and stuff like that. Google Chrome, an ICE and AS400 client for accessing the WMS. My work, the display screens, which we will not show because that's proprietary information. So let's just see what we can do with this PC hardware. So here we are sitting here idling in balanced mode and only drawing like 40-something watts. So a little bit above a very power-hungry laptop. Let's go over to the power control panel and let's play with the settings here and see if this changes when we put it in power save mode. Yep, I can tell this was upgraded from Windows XP. Listen to this. Click! The old Windows XP click noise. So we have balance. Let's put it in power saver mode. So power save mode drops the processor down to passive mode, which slows down the chip before it increases the fans and stuff, but it's not really making too much of a difference in terms of the idle voltage. But this thing is still drawing less power than actually my other systems do. Only the laptops draw less in this. I think the crap top is in like the 30 watt range or something like that. Sometimes it pushes 40, so okay, so Intel, as usual, Intel chips are a little bit ahead of AMD in many cases for power efficiency, so it's not making much of a difference to switch from balance to power saver, so it is throttling down like it's supposed to. Now, let's play with some benchmarks, shall we? I'm going to sneaker net them over on a thumb drive because I don't feel like plugging this into the network. Alright, switching to automatic mode so we can get some color back at the screen here. Alright, let's run UserBenchmark. I'm expecting this to handle the mathematical stuff quite well, but choke on anything that involves graphics. Internet connectivity failed. Yeah, I could plug it into the network, but oh, wait, this kills the whole thing if it can't connect to the internet. Alright, let's try this again. I've plugged it in after the fact, so it's not going to try logging onto our domain controller or anything like that. So, let's see here. I already sent this for a test run while I was waiting for some stuff to download earlier, so that's how I know that this is probably going to fail miserably on the graphics performance, but be able to do some number crunching. I should compare the results to this, from this to the Silver Bullet later on, since the Silver Bullet is from the same generation processor-wise. Although back in the day, Silver Bullet is actually a Core 2 Duo from the end of 2007. And this Dell, I think the hard drive is dated 2009 or something, so it might be evenly matched, even though it's a Pentium instead of a Core 2 Duo, so it's, Alright, see what we have for benchmarks here. Sequential mixed test. Ooh, that's some crappy hard drive speeds. Yay for 5-plus-year-old hard drives. Speaking of 5-year-old stuff, actually it is company policy that computers are ready for retirement after 5 years. So this thing, it's on its last legs. I also don't like this graphics. Oh, look at that slideshow. That was supposed to be animated, by the way. The only design thing that I don't like about this is this thing struggles with the graphics, just as I thought it would. So, look at that slideshow. Look at that. Oh, yeah, this is all supposed to be animated. So if you know somebody who does basic email, internet, and not much else, yeah. Although it is possible to get a half-height graphics card or something like that. So I gotta shut off the tablet afterwards. That was supposed to be animated too, and now it's gonna open everything up in the web browser, and of course crowdsource everything as well. Alright, let's F11 this to go full screen. And let's look at this stuff. Alright, Dell Optiplex 760, surfboard, tree trunk. Gee, how'd I guess? 36.5% is a relatively low desktop CPU score. It's going to struggle to handle much more than email, web browsing, and some AV playback. Duh! That's why I was talking about using one of these things as like a basic email machine. 0.73 is too low to play 3D games, use CAD packages. Yeah, terrible graphics. Terrible graphics, of course, because we're using the Intel integrated graphics, and this is before like the current Intel chips that they're trying to compete with AMD's APUs by having decent integrated graphics. Mechanical hybrid drive, go to an SSD, 4 gigs enough RAM to run Windows, sufficient for most games, some will benefit from 8 gigs of RAM. Yeah, but 4 gigs is basically the standard for Windows 7. We don't want Windows 7 machines with less than 4 gigs. Oh, you could upgrade to Windows 8.1. No company in their right mind is going to upgrade to Windows 8.1 as a company-wide standard. We will probably see a lot of companies leapfrog from Windows 7 to Windows 10. So, Pentium E5300, it's a dual core. Big surprise there. Almost to the middle of the pack as far as benchmark results go. 36.5, 493, 42, 24, 16. I don't know why it does quad-core multi-core on something that's not quad-core multi-core. Graphics way the heck down at the bottom. But that's because it's an office workstation. Seagate ST3808 80 gig drive. That tells you something about the how old it is. 29.1 into the red on that chart. Combined speed 44 down, or 44.3 megs, 50, 40, 30. Today's drives would get like 100, 100, 100 or something like that. And the 4K mix is abysmal, absolutely abysmal. So, yay for UserBenchmark. Now let's try Novabench. Alright, so let's Novabench this thing, although I am not going to be saving the results on this. I don't think they're going to be all that interesting anyways. Alright, so floating point operations, it changed to Windows 7 Basic. Floating point operations and integer operations. Now for comparison's sake, we're probably going to see really, even though the graphics thing is an 800 by 600 flyby benchmark, it's probably going to be lousy for the frame rate. But for comparison's sake, Tuxedo gets like 1300 on this, and the netbook is like 200 on this. So, RAM transfer speed, oh yes. So anyways, while that's running, the one design thing that I don't like about these workstations is the itty-bitty slimline optical drive. Depending, oh, there we go. 20 frames a second. Oh wait, no, 60 frames a second. Okay, it's getting 60 frames a second at 800 by 600. A gaming machine, this is not. It belongs in the office. Alright, so for comparison, well, we're going to get the results anyway, so cha-ching, 371, which means this piece of junk is on par with the crap top. The range, I've gotten Tuxedo up to like 1300 something, almost 1400, and the netbook is like 200 something, I think. So 371 for Windows 7 Enterprise, CPU tests, 234. The Core 2 Duo in the Silver Bullet gets about 240 or so, so it is on par, CPU-wise. Primary partition, 80 megs for the write speed, old hard drive, etc., and the frames per second, 62. Of course, the graphics is going to be the worst because this is an office machine. It only has integrated graphics. And even if you wanted to put something in here, you could only do like half-height cards, and the power supply I don't think is all that great, so I did see this thing get up to like the 50 and 60 watt mark, so it's back down to 40, so alright. Quit hitting the desk here. Alright, it's time to watch this thing choke on Unigine Valley. Alright, let the torture begin. This is running in 12 by 10, and I'm not going to suffer this thing to run this at 1080p by hooking it up to the television. Unigine Valley on a Dell Optiplex 760 stock. circa the late 2000s. An office machine, and this is a benchmark that is several years newer than the hardware that it's running on. How many frames a second, folks? 1, 2, 3. A crash? If it crashes, we'll get Unigine Tropics. That's from around this computer's, time in computer history. But I should get some kind of widescreen display for this. Still loading, although the oh, there we go. Oh man, this is gonna be brutal. Is it actually gonna run? 16 frames a second. It's not even displaying anything. Is it gonna run or is it gonna crash? Come on, Intel integrated graphics. Ooh, it's playing the music. Let's turn that down. Oh, 2 frames a second. Oh, this is so brutal. 1 frame a second, 2 frames a second. Oh yeah, man, this is brutal. Check out my photo collection of the Unigine Valley. Okay, wattage-wise, we're only into the 50s, though. Of course, this doesn't have very much power to begin with, so we're only going up into the 50s, and okay, it's time to stop torturing this thing. I'm gonna get some weird emails from folks in IT tomorrow. Oh, well, anyways. Okay, enough torturing the poor thing. Oh, I can't... My mouse! Where's my mouse? I can't hit quit. I'm gonna have to... Oh, there we go. Quit. You hear me clicking, right? I'm not right-clicking to be a smartass. Quit from application? Yes, please! Stop torturing this poor thing. Quit! 2 frames a second. Oh, man. Okay, the music stopped. Yay! The credits! We got out of this. Oh, let's uninstall this and try Unigine Tropics. Alright, Unigine Tropics. It's got the music and everything. Let's turn that down. And it's struggling already. Ooh, we're actually getting more than 2 frames a second. And by more than 2, I mean 4. Oh man, this is painful. Slightly less of a slideshow, so we've gained a whole 2 frames a second. Going back. Oh man. Yeah, we might as well just start doing like the Survivor theme or something like that. You're going to melt that computer, Jason! He actually did say that to me once. And that was when I was running a huge access query, not this. Oh man. Okay, let's see how hard it... Oh, we're down to 3 frames a second. Oh wait, we're back to 4. Yep. Come on, where's my mouse? I might have to Alt F4 this one. Cursor! Okay, we gotta Alt F4. Oh wait, yeah, it does work. Sweet! Alright. Now, just to be a smartass about all of this, I actually have one more benchmark we can try that's even older than Tropics. See if we can get up to 5 frames a second with that one. Unigine Sanctuary from 2007, DirectX 9, 12 by 10. Let's see what this looks like. I've never even seen this one before. I should see what Tuxedo can... Oh, Tuxedo can probably run it fast enough to make coil lines start coming out of the video card. But anyways, so we're actually still hanging out in the 50s wattage-wise. So, again, we're not talking about too much in terms of... Oh, wait, what's this? Man. It was just at 5 frames a second earlier when it was just starting, but it's back down to 4, so... Oh, man. Alright, let's quit torturing this thing. Ooh, 5 frames a second. Did I call it or what? Yes. I do wonder, though, what kind of hack job project could you do with one of these old office machines? Put like a half-height graphics card in there, see what you can squeeze out of it without having to upgrade the power supply. Alright, that's enough of this. Okay, everything has been uninstalled, and the benchmarks have been removed, and the installers have been deleted. This thing is ready to go to where it's going to go as a digital signage machine. Shut down! Although it is interesting to see MS Office icons again for the first time in quite some time. So long Windows 7 Enterprise, and so long Dell Optiplex 760 that hangs out in the 40s and 30s for wattage. So ultimately, if you know somebody who has zero interest in gaming and they just need basic email and internet, a refurb version of one of these could actually do the trick for them. Oh, interestingly enough, oh wait, yeah, it is drawing some standby power again. But a refurb version of this could actually, version of one of these could actually do the trick for them and get people, kind of serve as a nice little workaround for the supposed $300 price floor for computers. So, not a bad deal if I do say so myself. But there is one more thing that I want to do before calling it a video here. After seeing this thing choke so much on those Unigine benchmarks, it would be completely inappropriate to end the video without having at least a little bit of footage of Unigine Valley on Tuxedo at 1080p 30. Could be better. I could get this up to 1080p 60 with the right hardware upgrades, but certainly better than 2 frames a second. The way it's meant to look, even though the camcorder Let's Play thing keeps going out of focus here. Anywho, till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.